A glorious day to one and all. This is Anurag Mishra. Today I am going to discuss the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Before starting poem, let's know about the author. Robert Frost was an American poet and he has won a lot of medals. The most important one in 1924 Pulitzer Prize for Poetry, in 1928 Golden Rose Poet Trophy, and the most one is important ones in 1937 Mark Twain Medal. Now, let's discuss about the poem. In the poem, The Road Not Taken, the road symbolize our life. The poet says that path that we don't choose in our life, the road not taken. He describes his feelings about the choice that he had left in the past. The path which we have chosen decides our future, our destination. The important message that the poet wants to give is that the choice that we make has an impact on our future, and if we make a wrong choice, we regret it but cannot go back on it. So we must be wise while making choices. Now let's go for explanation. Two roads, there was in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So once the poet was walking down a road, then there was a diversion, there was a two different paths, and he has to choose one out of them. The poet says that as he was one person, he could travel on one road only. He had to choose one out of these two roads. Yellow woods means a forest with leaves which are wearing out yellow colors, and they have turned in yellow in color because season is autumn. It represents a word which is full of people, where people have been living for many years. They represent people who are older than the poet. The poet kept standing there, looked at the path very carefully as far as he could see it. Before taking the path, he wanted to know how it was it suitable for him or not. He was able to see the path till from where it curved, from which it was covered with trees and was hidden. It happens in our life also. We have choices, we have alternatives, but we have to choose only one out of them. We take time to think about the pros and cons, where it is suitable for us or not, and only then we take a decision on what path we should choose. Now stanza number second. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better plain, because it was grassy and wanted wear thou, as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Fair, as good as the other one, claim better option, grassy, unused, wanted wear, had not been used. The poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check if it is a right path for him or not. Then he decided on starting walking on another path, because he felt that the both paths were equally good. He says just as fair, so he felt that both paths were equally good, and starting walking on one of them. He adds that maybe he felt that the path was better for him, so he chooses as it has grass on which, means that it was unused. Not many people have walked on this path earlier, that is why this path was grassy, and wanted wear means that it was not walked over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the paths have been warmed, for were similar and worn out. Even in our life, we take any path or option, for all of them have the same benefit, disadvantages, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not in that way. Now stanza number third. And both the morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on the way out doubted if I should I should ever come back. Trodden means walked over. The poet says that both the paths were similar. That morning, both had leaves on them. No one had stepped on them, as they were still green in color. He decided that day he would take one path and keep the another path for another day. Although he knew that one way leads on to another way, he knew that he could not go back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead. With that, must keep on moving ahead with that option. We never get a chance to come back and take the other option that we had. Now this poem is over. This poem is telling us about making choices and the choices that shape us. Okay, thank you. May God bless you all.